second, and I'm gonna turn mine off as well because I'm gonna let
Sure.
send off send the link out a little bit, let it fill up for a second.
Okay.
Second, and I'm gonna turn mine off as well because I'm gonna let
Sure.
send off there we go. All right, let me get this send this to all these back check groups. Tell you what, these YouTube politics, man. Are you familiar with how these like the back chat groups and things of that nature go with YouTube and trying to connect with people?
I'll be honest with you, brother. No.
Okay, so y'all trying to build like networks and things of that nature, man. It is ridiculous, man. When you're trying to rock out with our people, of course, but everybody had their allegiances, and it get real dicey sometimes with trying to get people to cooperate and things of that. It get real dicey, the politics, but.
I can imagine it could be cumbersome. You know, our people, man. The main thing that got us into slavery in the first place is tribalism.
There it is. There it is. And nobody want to talk about that.
I would.
Like that part don't exist.
I keep telling them, hey, man, a couple of boatloads of white folks didn't come and get millions of black folks without help.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let me do one more and then we can go on this story. All right, we can get them cameras back up.
Okay. Back on.
Right. Welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother, Piankhi, Ptah, Montu, Nefer, Amun, and today we are back. This is a very important show with a very important brother. Before I had a brother introduce himself or reintroduce himself to the Paradigm Shift TV 314 audience, I want to do my usual spiel. I want to say Hotep to my fellow Kemetic brothers and sisters. I want to say God bless to my Christian brothers and sisters. I want to say Shalom to my Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. I want to say Islam to my Moorish brothers and sisters. I want to say Assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters in the nation of Islam. I want to say peace to my brothers and sisters in the nation of God's and earth, them 5%ers. I want to say what's up to my atheist brothers and sisters out there. And I also want to say Jumbo to the rest of my brothers and sisters throughout the African diaspora, be it here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only. It's because if you're Black, I'm with you, and I hope that you're with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting. We can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable, and we can have unity without uniformity. With that, my good brother, please reintroduce yourself to the Paradigm Shift TV 314 audience.
Peace, my family. My name is Amun Tekala Imhotep. I have the honor and the duty of being the national commander of Anubis, which is a special operations task force primarily based in Houston. We currently now have divisions in Delaware, as well as in the Georgia region of Atlanta, as well as Wisconsin. And we're hoping to build, and hopefully this build will have you slightly interested in joining Anubis and seeing what we're about, if you want to join the fight for our people.
And that's what's up. And that's a very, very important mission our brother is on. And we're gonna jump right into it. And so I got a few questions for our brother. And I think that these are kind of pertinent to where we are as a community right now, because we have a lot of people talking about what it means to be conscious, what it means to be African-centered, Afrocentric, and all of these different terms. But for you, my brother, did you grow up in the Black liberation movement?
Yes and no. I say that because when my father met my mother, he was in an organization called the Underground, but it was also in the United States Marine Corps. I actually had the honor of meeting the Weathermen, those brothers, because it was a rainbow coalition, so to speak. For my father's funeral, may he rest in power, I actually had the honor of meeting the Weathermen and introduce my father to my mother. And so far as growing up in the struggle, I mean, it depends, brother. I'm a Black man in America, so that's why I say yes and no.
Right, right.
So as I came along in life, I was raised in a Christian house. But the generation I came through, I'm an older gentleman, so generation I came through in high school was the generation of Public Enemy, Poor Righteous Teachers, X-Clan. So that's very, very Afrocentric. I grew up, my father was very Afrocentric, even though he turned over to Christianity, but he was still very Afrocentric. My mother was, most of my family is with Haitian. So at the end of the day, we keep the culture on my mother's side. So that's why I say yes and no. I mean, so far as the struggle itself, I jumped in the struggle by my own cognizance. This is my thing.
Okay. So with that being said, what brought you into it with regards to was it something that occurred? Was it something that you had been kind of thinking about when you were younger? What was that moment that made you say, let me get involved with the bringing our people out of this plight that we find ourselves in?
Well, for one, being a 70s baby, I always fantasized about being a Panther. Okay. I remember Huey P. Newton when he was living. I was excited to see Huey P. Newton on Donahue or Dr. Khaled Abdul Muhammad. I joined the NAACP. I didn't know no better. Y'all don't do me like that. I joined the NAACP when I was about 20. Yeah, about 20. And I thought that was the move because I was in the military at the time and I saw a lot of injustices being done to my brothers and sisters. So I also did that. And while in the NAACP and looking at everything that was going on, I started noticing there's a reason to get out of the NAACP, if it makes sense. There's a whole lot of Sambos there, not enough Uncle Toms. And I'll be glad to explain that when somebody says ain't it the same thing. No, it's not.
Absolutely.
Right. I'm an Uncle Tom.
There you go. Before we get off, I'm gonna have you break that down too, because a lot of people don't get what you don't understand what you're saying.
I'm a proud Uncle Tom. Yes, I am. But at the end of it, I saw a lot of Sambos, and I can't work with Sambos. I can't be with somebody that's gonna fence ride. If you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this. That's it. That's that. That's a wrap. So while in the Marine Corps, I was also kind of working on EEO issues because there was a lot of brothers and sisters that would come fresh into the military at a young age. And I noticed that a lot of white folks would be harassing these young Marines and trying to get them discharged or they kicked out, charged, demoted, or whatever. Somebody had to go to bat for me. So I did. I had my stripes put up many times. I retired as E7, but my stripes were on the table many times because, they even had investigations saying I was a racist. So, and I am a racist. I'll explain that too, happily. I will give you the exit. If you ask me, I'm going to give you the definite definition of what a racist is. And if you're in the movement and you're not a racist, you got a problem. If you're Black and ain't a racist, you got a problem. But so my thing is, somebody had to do something for our people. Okay, why not me? I got the skill set. I'm a war vet. I got the mental capacity. I got the historical knowledge. So if you ask me what made me get into the movement itself, there was 2 words. I'm tired.
Okay. That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it. How old were you? Because I I want to say me and you about the same age. I just turned 45 in October.
I'm 48. Thank you.
So yeah, hey bro, when you
thank
said you're an older man, I was like, what is this brother talking about? He older. I knew you were my age, but you don't look my age. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let him have that though. So how old were you when you started getting involved? Because you've been doing this for a minute.
Yeah, I'll say in the movement period in general, I've been in the movement since 1998.
Okay.
That's actually NAACP and all this other stuff. The militia realm, I've been in the movement since I'll say 2015.
Okay.
Swinging and banging in 2015. I've been in charge of Anubis for 4 years.
Okay.
Okay, so I started as a Panther, and I decided to move on from the Panthers and do something different. And I started training with the Huey Canoe Gun Club. And actually, my big brother in the revolution, Babu Mwale, with the Huey Canoe Gun Club, is the reason why Anubis even exists. I asked if I could build a special operations task force while in the Huey Canoe Gun Club, and he entrusted me with it. So I did it, and we started operating. He started noticing we swinging and banging, and he put me in charge of it. That's a solid copy, and ever since then, I've been a national commander.
Wow, that's what's up. That's what's up. And I say this too, and for those who don't know, the brother is a physical fitness freak. And I tell everybody I was up to 360 pounds. And so I get on Facebook and I'm looking for conscious friends, of course. So I see the name, I shoot him a friend request, he accept. The next thing you know, I see this man going crazy in the gym. I'm like, oh man, I'm embarrassed. And I ain't never even met him in person. I'm like, oh man, I gotta do something. So I gotta say dua to you for being one of the people that planted that seed in my mind to get that weight off. So I'm down to 280. I ain't trying to get nowhere near 300 again. So
that's what I'm
trying
talking
to get
about.
down to about 250. So
That's
yeah,
dope.
dua for that.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. If that was something to motivate you, hey man, homage to you, God. I tell you what, to make that much progress, that's an awesome thing in itself. It's about longevity. It's about us living. I tell people I work out like I do, one, because you're gonna call yourself a soldier, you gotta play the role. If you're gonna be a commander, you gotta set that example. And that's like you gotta set your example times 10. So if you want them to be in shape, you gotta be in mega shape. If you want to fight a war, do you want to fight it or you want to fight to win? Well, I train like I want to fight to win.
There it is. Yeah, real talk. And so let me ask you another question.
Mm-hmm.
How has your practice and study of African spirituality informed your devotion to your people and fighting for our freedom?
My studies in regards to African spirituality actually has helped me mature in the movement. I was just like every other revolutionary when it starts you mad all the time, want to argue and debate with everybody because you woke. Then I met my teacher, Dr. Marlima Bomani K. Baruti. That's my first teacher. My second one I met was Professor James Smalls.
Okay.
And I got to talking to these men, and I realized something. I was African-centered, but I was not African.
Ah.
In other words, I romanticized the idea of the dashiki.
There you go.
I romanticized the idea of aunts and beads and oil and being vegan, which I'm not anymore. I'm on board. I'm gonna explain that. I romanticized, but when you start living it, it changes you. I'm not the same person I was yesterday. I definitely ain't the same person I was in 2015. Okay. It's just a growth pattern. You learn self-accountability. It's not everybody else's fault. It's my fault. I did something. Even if it is other person's fault, it's what did I do to cause this?
Right.
Or what is the message that comes to me? What is that message? What was that message about? That's what I always say. What is that message about? There's always a lesson to learn in life. So that's what this walk I'm in has taught me. One has been sincerity. Two is to be faithful to the ancestors. Because when you war, the ancestors will never fail you as long as you're faithful. Might seem like things are getting hard, but as long as you give a homage to them and you pray to the Most High, and I pray to Baba Ogun, because I do practice Vulan. So I pray to Baba Ogun, as long as I'm faithful to him, the ancestors, and the Most High Grand Architect of the universe, the Almighty Creator herself, I'm gonna be okay. And that's what I always say. I'll be okay. You know, it also helped me understand manifestations through actions. Manifest through action. If I say I'm gonna be rich today, I gotta at least try to go out and make $1.
Thanks.
But if I say I want to touch somebody's heart today, I have to make it a point to do so. That's just my eye.
No doubt. Now let me ask you this, because a lot of people believe, because we come out of the Abrahamic faiths because of our people's enslavement and subjugation. And so we think that you have to believe or follow one spiritual tradition. Now, obviously, I know you're a Kemetic brother, but you also practice Vodun.
Right.
Explain why that's not a contradiction from an African minded individual.
It's all mine. It's all mine. So let me put it in I used to be a preacher. So let's put this in a biblical context for those Christians out there that are saying, wait a minute, what? You practice this two-faced. Okay. Book Isaiah says, ye are the God's children of the Most High. Okay. The Bible even told you what you were. Okay. And even though we've identified it as a book of lies, but sometimes you got to sprinkle some truth in to catch it, right? So with them saying ye are the God's children of the Most High, that tells me my identity, which is a God. A God is infinite. I'm not a monolith. You can't put me in a box. There's too much of me to go around to even just the making of Amun, Tekala, Imhotep. You can't even fathom how many tribes that might have took. And every Black person is a culmination of at least 3 tribes, at least. Remember slavery? So Zulu could have been sleeping with a Fulani, or Yoruba could have been sleeping with, such and such, just to say, so on and so forth, a Dogon, so on and so forth. So you never know what you're blended with, but you know the continent that you came from. It's all yours. If you look at this book right here, this book right here will tell you why I do what I do, because it's all mine. So if I need to study astrology, I might study Dogon. I speak the language of the 7% nation of the gods and earths. I can greet my brothers and say, peace, brother, what's the mathematics? And know 1 + 2 = 3, knowledge plus wisdom equals understanding. Or mother, father, child concept, and explain that in pure form. Reason being is because I've accepted that it's all mine. I'm not one particular thing, I'm many things. Like the Kemetic scroll says, Nupu, right? I am that I am.
And there it is. And I just wanted to make sure I said that, because I know somebody was gonna say, wait, I thought he was Kemetic, but he said he. So I just wanted to get that out the way. And I tell people all the time, as Africans in the diaspora, or diaspora Africans, as we say, we can practice Sankofa and go back and fetch whatever we want to. We have that right as being diaspora Africans. We didn't choose. Our ancestors didn't choose to leave. Now, for those who did and don't want to have no parts of the continent, hey, do what you do. But for those of us who are trying to make a connection back to the continent, you can't tell us where to make a connection to. So it is what it is. So yeah, I definitely appreciate that explanation. So
right.
And how long did you transition? Because you said you used to be a preacher.
Yeah.
What was the transition like for you from Christianity to the practice of African spirituality, and how did it affect your relationships in your family?
It was painful. It was painful, man. My comedic rite of passage was actually a year and a half long, but it was painful. It was painful because I had to be shown that everything was a lie. Everything. And I mean, they'd ask me simple questions like, how many wives did Adam have? And I said, one. It's no, Adam was divorced. Lilith was his first wife. Read it. And they showed me the hidden scrolls. I'm like, what? You know? Or simple questions like, if Jesus was in the wilderness talking to the devil, who told the story? You know? It's like real common sense questions that you dare not want to ask. You know, or why is Jesus in Greek pronounced Eos, and what does it mean? And then you look at it and it says all hail Zeus, but then you understand that every time it said if you lie on the church ground, you're gonna get struck by what? Lightning. That's Zeus.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Wow.
So when we look at that, and I go, man, I've been lied to all this time. It was painful, man. I mean, and my father actually in his last days actually admitted it. He actually admitted it. He literally looked and said, I understand there's some lies, son. There's some lies in the Bible. I said, then why are you telling these people these lies? And he said, to keep them in church.
Oh man, that's heavy.
That's everybody. And he said, black people are, this is what he said, it's true. So black people are an emotional people. And sometimes the only way to get a message to them is to really cater to their emotions. And I looked at him and I said, but why not just shoot straight? He said, because they can't handle the truth. Now, if you look at our people, it's harsh, but it's true. If you look at our people, the hardest thing for us to look at is that mirror. Right. Self-accountability sucks for us. Ask somebody to admit they're wrong. If you think I'm lying.
Hey, you know how they used to say, if you can't say amen, say ouch. I'm saying ouch right now.
Yeah.
Because that's me. I can't front.
It's me sometimes too, but here's the fun part. Since I've learned African spirituality, I can say, yeah, I did that. I could have done it.
Exactly. It's gotten easier. I will say that.
Right. It don't hurt. It doesn't hurt for me to admit that I'm a human. I'm a divine being having a human experience, as Professor James Smalls would say. It doesn't hurt me to say, I made a mistake. My fault. I'm sorry. The other part of that is when you say, I made a mistake, my fault, I'm sorry, is our people also have ego. So if you admit that to another black person, they're going, yeah, that's right. You shouldn't have did this, da, 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 da. But at the end state is, I didn't say, and I got to tell them, I didn't say that to feed your ego. I said that to have some self-accountability. Now, what you take with that is on you. But I'm not here to cater to your ego because your ego is pitiful to me. We have a very pitiful ego problem. We seek superiority over each other so bad that everything around us is falling apart. You know, off of ego.
Yeah. And speaking of that, you know, you mentioned everything around us is falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a lot of those amongst us, meaning black people, who feel like there's no issues with us here. It's beautiful for us here in America, in this world. And I bring that up to ask you this: what do you say to black people, be it here on the continent, South America, the Caribbean, wherever? What do you say to those amongst us who feel like we aren't in jeopardy, we aren't subjugated, we don't need to fight for liberation, we don't need to talk about those things? It ain't so police brutality, not that bad. And of course, I'm talking about our conservative, Christian brethren, and the Candace Owens, the Brandon Tatums of the world, those types. Do you even waste time addressing those type of individuals?
Those kind of people, I usually give stories, parables. And I usually go, back during slavery time, there were also a form of Negro or Black person, as you would, that was happy being on a plantation with massa. They'd always say to people like Harriet Tubman, Queen Mother Harriet Tubman, may she rest in power. Wise weeds got to leave. Massa makes us fed. Massa treat us good. Ours ain't got no problem with massa. Well, you got that other faction over there that's trying to get away, because just because you eat pig guts and slop and you sleeping in a shack doesn't mean that's where I'm supposed to be. See, there's two kinds of Black people in the world. This is what I tell them. There's two kinds of Black people in this world, no matter what your class is, no matter what your pay grade is. And I'm gonna explain each one by class if you don't mind.
Go for it.
There's Black folks and there's niggas. Black folks are trying to build and construct and have something that benefits the nation and the well-being of our people, embrace us, only us, for us, solely for us. Niggas are gonna always find a way to throw massa off in the mix somewhere. Niggas will say something to a businessman like, that's why I don't support Black business. Exactly. Or I would support Black business, but, or our Black men, I'm so disappointed in them, maybe I need to go find me a white man. Or I'm so sick of Black women, maybe I need to go find a white woman. This is my confusion. Well, all the ethnicities in the world that is original descendant of us, when we mad at each other, we go straight to the enemy. We bypass everything else and we go straight there. So my whole thing is, when I talk to these people, because I had a client like that. I was building a food truck. I quit.
Dang. Because
this Black person, these Black people, would talk about Black folks, and they would say nigga, 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 and would talk talk about us like we dirt. I built the floor for him, and I said, I done had enough of this, because I hated the energy. White people came around and, hey, how you doing? And so we came around, and I'm like, listen, matter of fact, I had a client yesterday like that, and I turned him down, saying the same thing. He was from Gambia. Same situation. I said, this is a nice Black neighborhood, suburb, real nice neighborhood out there. And he said, yeah, it was a lot of white people at first, and it was nice. And then niggas came in, we need white people. And I literally looked at him, and I just said, okay, sir. But my head was like this. We hate each other so much. We hate ourselves so much that it is ridiculous. So when I talk to somebody like that, like a Candace Owens, I give a Marcus Garvey quote. And I'll say, the Marcus Messiah Garvey once said, I don't want all Black people to go back to Africa with me. There are some that's no good here, and they're going to be no good there. And I would look at a Candace Owens and go, see, you that nigga that's going to be on the docks while the Black people going to be on the ship. Yeah. I don't want you to go. I'm not trying to save everybody, man. I used to try that. I'm not trying to save all Black people, because Black people that want to be saved is something that you don't have to put effort into.
Facts.
Me and you met each other. Did I have to have a lot of effort in the talking and communicating with you?
No, sir.
That's how I should be. See, when people want to be saved and evolve to the next level, that's not a fight. But anytime I got to sit down and cross-educate, keep arguing with you, battling with you, and all this stuff, you holding on to your chains. Think I'm trying to be free. So you hold on to your chains, get the hell out of my way. you're not coming with me. Trust me. If you got any kind of chain in your mind, you need to get the hell away from me ASAP, because you might die trying to get on the ship. Because we're going to make sure that we have no stowaways. You know, it comes to a time in our lives that we need to make a definitive choice and pick a side. And our brothers and sisters in our nation that do not pick sides, they ride the fence a lot. They don't want to make me no white man mad. Well, I'm a business person. I don't want to make the white man mad. I am too. All my clients are black. Still don't care. And what? I got this one thing I got to do, but that might be the last
Yeah.
one. And even
if it's not, like you said,
I'll take my money.
You take that green money and put it right back into our neighborhood. You're not trying to go build with them and be. You see, it's a difference. Business is business, but I'm not trying to build with you, and that's what a lot of us tend to try to do. And it's like, come on, man. We understand we got to make a living, but it's a difference between making a living and you trying to assimilate yourself to people who never going to accept you.
Right. I'll take, if I got my green money from a white man, I will take my green money from that white man and put it into the black community ASAP.
Every day, all day.
All day long, twice on Sunday. They know I'm going to the Buy Black Market at the Shrine of Black Madonna that weekend. And they know I'm going to support every business there. What you got? You got some soap? What you got? It could be crayons, and I don't need color. You know, let me get a pack of those crayons, man. You know, but at the end of it, it's about us having some kind of pride in self. And that's what yeah, that's the definition of ego. But when I say pride in self, it's to the point that we need to have a sense of ownership. That's why I have Anubis. That's why that stands, because our nation is about the individual now. It's not about us as a nation.
Right.
It's every nigga for itself.
And I heard that a lot. Like, people talk about, I got me in mind, but then when they see the things that our youth, the things that our youths are doing and the calamity they getting in, instead of wanting to get involved, they just want to talk shit about them.
Right.
But you cool with taking care of you and yours, and then when something happens, you want to talk shit about what these young people doing, but you don't want to get down there and try to rectify that situation. So why you even talking about it?
Right.
You know. So
we don't want to get our hands dirty. We only want to get our hands dirty when we in the club and somebody drunk and step on your shoe. But when it's time to reach out to these young brothers and sisters, I had a dope text today, matter of fact, from my neighbor's grandson, a troubled kid. So I took him and his friend to the side and talked to him one day. I said, "Listen, young guy, you know you our future, man." And I said, "I'm getting older, bro, and I do not want to be a dinosaur. When I leave here, y'all should be carrying this on, but y'all should be walking in power." You know, because it was like every time we see you work, and I said, "Brother, I got to work because y'all not." So somebody got to be men around here. Then I literally sat around and I said, our women are becoming more and more disappointed in us, to the point that they would just take a section of you if it looks halfway masculine. Come on, man. So he texted me today. He said, "I've been thinking about what you said." And I said, "Okay, so what you got?" So man, I really want to apologize for how I've been acting. I need to tighten up. I said, "Now, good. Go be the example." But our brothers don't want to get their hands dirty. Our sisters don't want to get their hands dirty. You know, Facebook is more valuable than sitting down talking to a child these days to say, "Hey, tighten up." Exactly. But when you leave here, I always tell people, and when your newborn baby turns 30 and goes to your old Facebook pictures, what are they gonna see?
Man.
And if you don't care, then you telling me you really have no self-worth or no self-pride whatsoever. I was turning up and having fun in those days. You're 42, 35, 36, 38, 30, 32. Now, if you're 20, I get it. That's a big teenager. But when you cross the threshold of 30, you should be tightening up right about now.
It's a young sister at my job, bro. She's 42 years old. Mother sheltered her. Father died when she was like 13. Beautiful
Mm.
sister. Never been married. Haven't even. I think she just went on her first date or getting ready to go on her first date. She a virgin. She very public about it, and not even in a like bragging way. Almost she being shamed for it, and that's the only reason people know. And you know the brothers praying on her, and the sisters kind of like either they think she too good, they think she thinks she too good, or they making fun of her. It's a weird dynamic her and I have because she got like a little crush because she almost like an 18, 20-year-old girl, but she 42. That's how sheltered she been. Her mother was in one of these Christian movements where they gotta wear like polos. The women wear polos and long skirts. So she just now getting out on her own, and you know, and so I'm telling the sister, I say, listen, don't let nobody shame you for being who you are. You finding yourself, take your time and find yourself. Don't get caught up with one of these little no nothing, uh, just trying to run up in you, no count Negroes. Take your time and find you a decent brother. You got something that's precious and you've been holding on to it for whatever reason. Don't give it away just on a humbug. Don't make that mistake that so many of us done made. And
Right.
she appreciated, and I'm not trying to uh, further her little crush, but I do want the sister to understand. Don't get caught up out here on no humbug. And it's amazing to me that these people who see this like smart sister, I mean, like accounting and numbers and stuff like that, like she on the money. But just to see these brothers like salivating like wolves, and here you got a sister who you need to be trying to protect. It's like, and that's how I know I didn't came a long way with comedic spirituality and comedic science. Because if I was in a different mind state, it'll be like even if it wasn't me, I'd be telling other brothers, hey man, but that's not even a thought. And it's like we supposed to be protecting her. But here these brothers is like, I'm like, come on, y'all. Like what is we doing? And so I just think we really we've been around the Amun, as I call them, for so long, bro. We have taken on their characteristics. It's crazy to me.
Well,
Like,
we run out of discipline. We fresh out of discipline. We fresh out. Ain't none. You know, it's like we're a nation of sexual deviants now. You know, I got a lot of homegirls. I do. And you know how I look at them? Like sisters. I literally look at them like little sisters. It's not one of those, boy, if she ever gave me half a chance, I'd hit that. And, you know, they could be cute or whatever, but as you grow up in life, you kind of look at it and go, what else you got? That's cute. What else you got? All right, you got a nice shape. What else you got? That's going to grow old over time. So what else you got? What's going to keep me here? Because you could be cute, but you could be annoying. You could be fine and sexy, but controlling.
yeah.
You could be gorgeous and not be too bright. Do I have time to raise a whole nother grown woman? No. Do I have time to argue with you every day? No. Do I have time to go through all the other nonsense I might have to go through? Absolutely not. Brothers like me and you, we tap dancing on 50. You know, when you tap dance on 50, that's the other half of your life. We ain't got time to do all that arguing. We don't know how long we're going to be here after we cross 50. So we tell people how we feel. We shoot straight. It is what it is. You don't like it, hate it or love it. So what? And we keep it going.
That's a fact. Hey, bro, you hit the nail on the head, man. I tell my queen, I've been with my queen. We've been together 28 years. We've been married 24, 25 almost. I appreciate it. And I've been knowing this woman since I was in the 2nd grade, man. And it's hilarious every time I tell this story because I saw her in the 2nd grade and I was like, I want to marry her. And never in my wildest dreams that I think I was going to grow up and marry. But we ended up getting together later in life and like when we was juniors in high school and got married right out of high school. And it been topsy-turvy, but she's still a Christian. And I tell people this all the time. I respect the Black church for what it's been to our people, because I know I wouldn't still be married if that woman wasn't a Christian, given that she married me when I was 20 years old and all the dumb stuff I did. I know her Christianity informed her being able to forgive and remain with me in that relationship and get us to the point we are now. However, when I started to study Kemetic spirituality, it was a hard adjustment. But it's like what you said. At this age, bro, I don't hold, like I say what's on my mind. It is what it is. Like, you're going to take it or leave it. I don't have time to bullshit nobody.
Yeah, I ain't got time to sugarcoat nothing with you.
I literally told her, I say, listen, I ain't got 45 more years. Like, I seriously doubt it. So I'm not gonna waste time being upset. I'm finna enjoy you, and I hope you gonna enjoy me. And we gonna get through whatever time we got remaining on this mortal plane in happiness. Like all the going through the motions and just existing. I'm done with that, bro. I ain't got time to just be existing. I'm trying to live. And so you dead on with that. So
yeah, I mean, I told myself I'm gonna marry what's gonna keep me happy. I'm happy within self. If I get married, or when I get married again, I'm gonna marry what's gonna keep me happy, what's gonna keep me at peace. I'm gonna do the same. I ain't trying to start no issues. My life's pretty simple. I work for the people. I work out. I go to work. I go home. If you got any reason to start something off in there, I don't know why. Because when I get home, I usually just want to relax, read, meditate, watch a show, take a bath, go to sleep, and repeat.
There you go.
So if I ain't doing nothing crazy, you shouldn't be giving me no problems. Exactly. If you're giving me problems, bye. Because at the end, you brother down with you, I'll tell you about the spirituality thing with me. I talked to Baba Baruti about it. Now, as long as you've been married, when you met your wife, she had that practice. Mm-hmm. So you were a Christian at first, right?
Yes, sir.
So actually, you being married that long, kind of wouldn't be fair to get a divorce all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? And y'all got a life invested in each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you'll be surprised at how close it got.
Oh no, I wouldn't. I was
just
married
because of this, like, bro, I'm talking about again. Now understand, getting married at 20 years old and the changes you go through from 20 to 40, and we did not get a divorce through all those trials and tribulations. And I stopped being a Christian, and it was on, like I was walking a tightrope, because that's how serious it is when it comes to homeboy on the cross, and that, like, it was like that. So, but go. I ain't mean to cut your words. Go ahead.
Oh no, I mean I feel where you're coming from, bro. I mean, I was married before, by the way, but and it's not, you're gonna have your rough patches. You know what I'm saying? That much I do remember about being married. What I was saying about so far as the spirituality thing, when I was talking to my teacher, Baba Baruti, and he talked about his book Complementarity, because that's my favorite relationship book to read. It is the dopest African-centered relationship book out there. If you're in a relationship or going to be in a relationship, look up the book Complementarity by Dr. Marlemo Bomani K. Baruti. It teaches that everything has to align. The whole opposites attract thing, not so much. It has to align down the middle, especially revolutionaries, because as doing what I do at the level of which I do it, you need that companion that understands that and supports that wholeheartedly. The fact that you pick a side as to the extreme that I have to pick that side, the spouse also has to pick the side to that extreme. And it ain't no doggone gray area. It's that. Because something could happen to me. You know what I mean? Or, you know, I give messages every day. People expect me to speak sometimes. Hey, man, you can't contradict what you say. We got too many of those people. I'm not a contradictory person. So you got to have something that aligns with that. So if you're single, you try to find somebody that aligns with it.
Yeah.
And even that's hard because you date inside the community. Well, I mean, that might work, that might not work because they might be African centered, but there's other issues. Then you date outside the community. Well, that's great, but guess what? They got all this other stuff. You know what I mean? So you just kind of, after a while, you get where I'm at now. You get dated out, get relationshiped out. You just burnt out. You just kind of like, look, all I want to do is serve my people, do what I'm supposed to do, study, be a good man, and what is for me shall come. If it's not, I got more work to do. But I ain't gonna argue. Yeah, man, but I ain't gonna argue or fight with nobody no more. No. I ain't got time. I mean, I even told the KKK when they came downtown, I'm like, look, we fighting the what? Because I got stuff to do.
We fighting the what? Hey, what y'all want to do? So with that, let me get to the second to last question.
Come on.
So I've heard, and I've heard this a lot in the last couple of years, especially. I've heard a lot from some of our Christian and Muslim brothers and sisters, particularly the Christian side, that the Black conscious movement, the Afrocentric minded people in that movement within the diaspora, especially in the United States, that it's on the decline. My question to you is, do you agree or disagree with that sentiment? And whatever your answer is, elaborate on what we do to either increase the consciousness of our people or to further expand where it is, if you don't feel it's declined, but that it's increased. If that makes sense.
To answer your question, the conscious mindset has not declined by far. It's actually grown. I say that because there's a lot more people. I know a lot more preachers that are walking out of the pulpit. So they're saying it. That's cute. You tried it. That's not real. All right. The reality of the matter is our people are starting to see certain things. Okay. One, for over 400 years, we've been praying to Jesus, and Jesus ain't done nothing. It says in the book of Revelations, Jesus is coming back like a thief in the night. Well, I mean, he had 400 years to do it. He ain't been here yet. All right. And they'd say, well, Jesus is coming back, and Black people, the people in the Bible, and Black people are going to finally get free after 400 years. 2019 was a 400-year anniversary that we've been here. And we still niggas. All right. So with that being said, so much for that. The rapture was supposed to come in 2010 according to the Hebrew Israelites. So
hey, bro,
that. Yeah.
Something happened with your audio. I don't know what it was.
You hear me?
I can hear you, but it's kind of distorted a little bit for some reason. And it just happened.
What about now?
It's better. Go ahead.
Okay. So
yeah.
Black people for over 400 years have been praying to Jesus. What happened for us? Nothing. Let's shoot straight. I ain't scared to hurt feelings. Nothing has happened. All right, here we go. Wow, picture this. You in slavery. You praying for freedom. In a house right down the street from your slave quarters, massive, is praying for more slaves. Ain't it ironic that he can get more slaves? And your black ass is still in chains. But you praying to the same thing. Now you could come with a bad excuses. All right, throw all excuses. I tell people this. I said to my father one day, I said, what if Satan is bad, is a good guy? He said, what? I said, you believe in the devil, in God and the devil, right? He said, yeah. I said, what if the devil's a good guy? Because he's the one punishing everybody for doing bad things, but God gives you free will to do the fuck you want to do. So I said, yeah, God is the ultimate, the Christian God is the ultimate bully. Or somebody bullshit.
Hey, I always say the devil ain't nothing but God in a ski mask. Cause like why would you what loving father would let this dude exist unless they the same cat? But you know, you gotta get help. Like they got to be the same dude because no, like if I as a father, if I know somebody is gonna do my children harm, my children who I say I love, so much so that I'm gonna sacrifice myself or my son or whatever I get mixed up. Is he his son? Is he him? Is he whatever it is, whatever that is, I'm gonna do that. That's how much I love them. But when I could just eliminate homeboy for perpetuating this evil. Like if he the reason for this thing to continue to be perpetuated, then I just get rid of him. But
well, if you're the boss, right? If you're the boss of a job, what happens if your employee's cutting up? You're fired.
They get fired. I got a cleaning business. When I fired, unfortunately, many of brothers for not just flat out not showing up. I'm getting emails like, you got to make up this day because your people didn't show up. And I'm like, no, I ain't get no call, no text, no nothing. They just didn't go. So you, as you said, you fired.
That's a whole other walk down
there. Yeah.
Because we try to give our opportunities to our people, and they're not smart enough to take them off. They do the half-ass work for us because we black and they black, so they figure we the homie. So what they do is they come late or they half-ass do the job, and they leave you to do it. But no, they want their money.
Facts. Yeah, so, I ain't heard from them, but when payday came, I heard from you know how that goes.
That check came out, yeah.
But yeah, back to Mighty Yahweh.
Oh, yeah, okay. So talking about Jesus and God, I'm like, what? God is my instruction, y'all. For what I was taught, God is actually an acronym. It's a Greek acronym. It stands for Gomer Arstavar. Gomer Arstavar are Greek terminologies meaning wisdom, strength, and beauty. Book of Isaiah says you're God's children of the Most High. Do you even know where you got the terminology God's from? You got that from stuff like Zeus, Hercules, Mars, Ares, Aphrodite, Athena. That's when you started hearing the word gods. Okay? Same place you heard Egypt from.
Exactly.
Rome.
Exactly.
The same place you heard Aegyptos from. Greece. Okay? Prior to that, there was no gods. There was Neteru. There was Neta. There was Orisha. There was Ori. But there wasn't no gods.
Right.
And it sure wasn't one God. That's a whole dude. Now, and I tell people that there cannot be, you got mother nature, the motherland, but you got a father creator. That don't even make sense. when the definition of mother means beginning or source?
It's a story in Orishas where Obatala sent down I believe it's 16 Orishas to cultivate the earth. And the 50 it all is 15 males and one woman, and the woman is Oshun. And they all trying to to cultivate the earth, and they all fail, but they all ignoring Oshun.
I know this story.
And so they continue to try to do this and can't figure out why they failing. But every time Oshun try to help, they ignore. So Oshun goes back up to Obatala, and she's like, yeah, they, basically they don't want my help. They ignore me. And he like, they ignoring you. He like, all right, go back down there. And so she go back down, she do her thing, and her area is prospering. So they go back up and they like, hey, we can't do this. Like, we don't know what's up. And he like, you got the secret right now. He say everything you needed to cultivate the earth left here with you. It left the heavens with you. And they looking at each other like, huh? Well, it was 16 of us. Oh.
Oshun.
Oshun. So they go back down there, they work with that divine feminine, and they able to cultivate the earth. The moral to the story is, because we talk about this creator deity that's a male, but what male can create without a female? African people understood this. And that's why it's like mind-boggling when you really start to study our spiritual concepts. We was just talking about this in my Kemetic class. Hellenization, which is what you was just talking about.
Right.
Calling Neter's gods, calling Kemet Egypt. Hellenization is the precursor for colonization.
Right.
And we gotta make our people understand what these things are, so that they can understand how our minds got polluted in the first place and why we think the way we think. We think like the Amun because the Amun wrapped those chains around our minds more securely than he put the shackles on our physical body. And until we break those mental chains, we're gonna always be enslaved to these bastards. But we get people who feel like they literally feel like, nah, everything good. We free. We not doing we don't have to do what our ancestors did. And it's like, what can you say?
I don't say nothing to him. What I say is I'm gonna leave you niggas behind. Because I don't have time to be sitting up here arguing with somebody all the time. Well, all white people aren't bad, and I go, listen. There's some white folks I can be cordial with. I didn't say homies. Cordial. So my whole thing is this. If somebody asks me if I hate troglodytes, Neanderthals, cavemen, white boys, the oppressor, I say, yeah. And they'll go, hate's a strong word. I say, it's not emotionally based. No, it's not. We're at war. If we're at war, I got to be conditioned to hate you. Because if all hell breaks out, there's going to be some things that I'm going to have to do that I don't want no kind of emotion other than the fact that I hate you wrapped up in it. But I got to figure out why I hate you. That means I got to study. Christians, remember this one? Study to show thyself approved, workman not ashamed, rightfully divided in the word of truth. Well, when I studied, it ran me right up out the pulpit. Because one thing I realized, that truth is based on fact, and fact is based on proof. And if it's not proven, it did not happen. All right? So
facts over feelings.
That part. So we are sitting up there fighting our eyes out to hold on to this white deity, and I do mean white deity, before y'all try to paint them black, white deity. All right, Scipio, that guy. So trying to hold on to that Roman deity that is based in the doggone Vatican with all of our might, because, well, when I prayed to him, that's something happened. No, when you prayed to him, the ancestors intercepted it, fool, because at the end of the day, they know that they were the reason that you know that you are praying to a white Jesus. You don't know no better. They're in ancestral realm. They're trying to help you with the hopes of one day getting your silly ass attention.
And how about you manifested that thing yourself?
That part. But no, we came, I told my client's a Christian, good man. Mr. Yenson's a good man. He asked me what I thought about religion. He asked me if I was a Christian. I said, no, sir. He said, well, what do you think about religion? I said, religion gave Black people a cop-out. So what you mean? I said, they're void of any self-accountability whatsoever. I said, my favorite meme I ever saw on Facebook was a picture of the devil saying, y'all niggas gonna stop blaming me for y'all fucked up decisions.
That's a good one.
You know what I mean? So my whole thing is this. We are declining as a nation. If the conscious community, if the Christian community wants to lie and say consciousness is at a low, that's a lie. But I will tell you this, our nation's at a decline because of Christianity. It's more niggas in the doggone church than there ever was niggas in consciousness. Remember what I said about Black folks and niggas? Everybody that's wearing that symbol, the Baba Legba, do you even know what you're wearing? Let's go. Let me be woke for half a second.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about the crucifix, Christians.
Talk about it.
What you are wearing is a symbol of Baba Legba, Anpu, Eshu, Ilegua, aka Anubis. What that is a key to the crossroads, buddy. You right here. That's a four-way intersection. And you need to make a choice. So when you wear that symbol around your neck, I call it a death symbol because you refuse to pick a side.
That's heavy.
You choosing death.
And I mean, and I say that, I used to say that all the time, like it's kind of disrespectful that you walking like if you really did, like that's your man's, right? Why you walking around with the thing they use to torture? And I never, like, even as a follower of that tradition, I couldn't understand, like.
Well, I mean, my best friend got shot in Iraq and then walking around with his bullet around my neck.
Yeah.
Well, this is what he had to sacrifice. Well, because they get super Christian when you ask that.
Exactly.
Well, this is what he had to sacrifice for me to be here today. So your mama and your baba ain't had nothing to do with you being here. No, because if it wasn't for God who created them, we wouldn't be here. So your grandmother and your grandfather had nothing to do with this.
I've had those discussions, man. I had a whole dialogue where brother told me I ain't had nothing to do with making my son. God made my son. Me and my wife coming together and do like, because my thing is, you don't get my kids. All 5 of my kids had to come about as a combination of me and their mother. You don't get that combination. She can't get those combinations with no other man. Like they are the embodiment of everything I am, and I am because my ancestors were. And same thing with their mother. So, but no, God created them.
He's right. He just forgot God is too.
Go ahead.
God and Goddess. 1 plus 2 got together and made 3.
There we go.
So let me, when you talk about the concept of childbirth, right? See, so our Christian folks, if you're watching right now, I want you to go outside and get a telescope and look in the stars, because I'm finna tell you about a woman's anatomy, and I'm finna do it with astronomy. You ready? If you look up in the heavens, you might see something called a galaxy. Each bright star in the sky is a galaxy. It's millions of them. If you look further down in the telescope, if the Hubble telescope can see the black hole. Now, the black hole is said to be an entryway into another universe, right? So if that be the case, all those little galaxies and stars and solar systems and planets are what? To a woman? Sperm. So the black hole is most likely a fallopian tube, or it could be the vagina itself. So let's go back, break down and dissect back the galaxies. Each galaxy has a series of planets, right? Series of planets, stars, whole thing, solar systems, right? So the galaxy actually swirls in the form, it looks like a big 9. If you look at everything. So let me break the nail. Can I get woke for a second?
Get woke.
I'm gonna get woke for a second. So if you look at, Christians, you still with me? Wake up. All right, so if you look at the most feared number that you see in the Bible, you scared of it, the number of the Antichrist. 66 is 6, 666. Well, if you look at 3 numbers, you understand that that is a mathematical equation. If you look at that mathematical equation, you see 3 6s, that's 6 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. Well, if you really do math, you know that multiplication is incomplete addition. So that 1 plus 8 equals 9 out of 18. So those galaxies are looking like little what's again that are swirling around? Little 9s. 666 stands for 6 protons, 6 neurons, and 6 electrons. It's the building block of the universe or carbon.
Did you just do that, bro?
I did just do that. I did. I ain't done yet. That was just part of it.
Go. Continue.
So when you look at the concept of anything, and sisters, you might want to listen to this. Sisters still there? Sisters, you might want to pull up the chair. So if you look at everything that is 666, that is 6 times 3, which equals 18, and 1 plus 8 equaling 9, which is 6 protons, 6 neurons, and 6 electrons, building block of the universe, 9 planets in the solar system that we currently know of, but we know there's none other ones, but to the known universes, to our known solar system, it's 9. Okay? It's 9. So if we got that, all right? So then you look at how many months it takes to have a child.
Wow.
9. Oh, I ain't done yet. How many degrees is in a circle? 360 degrees in a circle. So 3 plus 6 plus 0 equals what?
Damn.
So anything that has a circumference or shape or form or anything that has matter or atoms is composed of anything that is composed of this chemical called melanin is heavily fortified with 666. That all breaks down to the number 9. But the most important deity and being in this universe that could bring children that is directly tied to the galaxy is the who? Woman.
Teach.
Because if you look at your fingerprints, they look like 9s. You look at the coils of your hair, looks like 9s. If you look at your skin good enough, the cellular structure looks like 9s. And 9 is the number you cannot count past.
Everybody go look up 9 ether. So you can go get a breakdown of what my brother just laid down for y'all.
That part. Hold on, I got another. Let me see. Do I have it in here? You know I read a lot. 1 second.
Go ahead, take your time, bro.
Let me see. This one.
Richard D. King, MD. Y'all make sure y'all go grab that. And you know
Melanin.
Amazon got it. You'll get it the next couple of days.
This will teach you everything and anything about the chemical composition of your body. That is melanin.
They say there's nothing special about melanin. I've heard this is another thing because I do a lot of dialogue with our brothers and sisters who are still in the Abrahamic faith. And what I'm finding is and you can give me your thoughts on that before we jump to that last question. But what I'm finding is a lot of brothers who still profess to be pro-black seem to do whatever they can to either diminish, debunk, or somehow discredit books by scholars like the one you just showed, even Stolen Legacy, which you showed at the beginning, things of that nature. And it's like it's like an inherent need or desire to discredit all things pro-black and pro-African, even though you are black. Like and I know you've been doing this for a while. What is that about? Is this tradition so inherently anti-black that black people just find themselves going against pro-black elements? Like, I don't understand it.
Yes. I don't try to understand it anymore. It is what it is. It's like that because niggas gonna be niggas. I just gave you an analogy not too long ago about the slave that wanted you to stay on the plantation. He might have been pro-black too. Pro-black don't mean Africanized. Pro-black means for black. You might like black people. That don't mean anything about you supporting black people. I know a lot of niggas that say they doggone pro-black and don't support black business. They say they pro-black. I know some pro-black people that date white people. They say they pro-black. They niggas. But the thing is, we keep tap dancing, don't want to hurt no feelings. We forgot the phrase. I tell people, not only am I African, I'm unapologetically so. I don't make no apologies. Anything I say tonight, folks listening, I'm gonna tell you right now, everything I said tonight, I do not apologize for. If I make you mad, be all right. Take some motion, drink water. So my whole thing is this. Truth is painful. It's harsh to people that don't want the truth. It hurts. It angers them because it is in fact the truth. That mirror you got to look in. You got to look yourself in the eye and go, you are screwing up. You need to adjust yourself because at the end state, we are happy living in ignorance. Ignorance is comfortable. You don't have to do nothing to be ignorant. Let master win.
That scene in the Matrix when he say, I know this steak is not real. I know this, I'm not tasting this wine, but ignorance is bliss. That is, hey, that's it right there. That's
ignorance is comfortable. Being a nigga is comfortable. When I was a nigga, it was comfortable. I ain't had to argue with no white folks. White folks like me on the job. I was getting promotions and this and this and because I was ignorant. Those black people talking about black power, man, them niggas is crazy. Strong with them. Hey, Bill, Devin, how y'all doing, man? Y'all want to have some drinks later? All right, man, you come hang with us. Oh, man, cool, thanks. You proud to say you got some white friends.
And I'm going to tell you, bro, I learned that lesson the hard way. I don't, like, it ain't no, I don't fuck around no more. I had a friend, white guy, and I'm talking about, me and my wife were separated. I thought about moving in with him as roommates. It didn't. Me and my wife ended up getting back together. It didn't happen. But like I was on my way to doing it. And this almost 20 years ago. But took this man food on Thanksgiving after him and his wife split up. Like, you know, this type of stuff. I had my wife put all this food in a box, took it to him. You know, that type of thing. When the Mike Brown situation occurred, here in St. Louis, I'm on the thread, and of course I'm feeling away. Like this happened on my wedding anniversary. So I, you know, the date just is disconcerting to me. I remember my wife and I was getting ready to go do our little annual, you know, anniversary celebration, and all of a sudden we seeing all this commotion because we in Florissant, which is adjacent to Ferguson. And I actually lived in Ferguson when I was a teenager. And so I'm just like, you know, we hearing this, and my sister-in-law at the time lived in the she actually watched the beginning of the altercation, not knowing what was about to happen, walked away, heard the gunshots later on, came back and saw the brother, you know, in that state. So you know, we talking about it on Facebook, and he was one of my Facebook friends, this Amun, who I was friends with. And he says, call me by my government. Well, Doug. Well, Mike Brown was no angel. And I say, when did being an angel become a prerequisite to live? And of course, the brothers and sisters on my thread started giving him the business. So he inboxed me, oh, why are you letting them talk to me like that? And what's going on? Or, are you all right? And I remember this like it was yesterday because it was the last conversation I've ever had with him. And I said, today you drew a line for me, and I appreciate it, between yourself, your people, and me and my people. And you chose your people. And I understand it, I respect it, and I appreciate it. And of course, he acted like he didn't know what I was talking about. But I told him, I say, listen, we ain't got to do this. You know what you trying to do? Let's just go our separate ways, live your life. We good.
Right.
I respect that he gave me that perspective. Dude, I started working with. I allowed myself. Now I wouldn't what you would call friends with him, but I did allow myself to get acquainted with him because his son was black or mixed. And him knowing like how I get down, asked me for help with his son. And, you know, I took it upon myself to do so because his son a brother. And so I didn't quite like how the sister who he had this child with conducted herself. And she was literally taking this at the time, 13-year-old boy to gay pride parades and things of this nature. And I'm trying to figure out why I got an Amun asking me for help with a sister who taking their child to these type of festivities. And so it's like, okay, let me see if I can help in some way. Didn't turn out well, but he and I became more acquainted as a result. Well, Valentine's Day, my cousin called me and he was like, hey, ain't this the dude that you work with? He done put a card up of George Floyd, Valentine's Day card. You take my breath away. I lost it. I didn't know this was gonna happen when I did it, because I text everybody at the job. I'm like, this is what this cat thinks is funny. Not realizing the GM was like on the verge of firing him. Then I wasn't trying to start that kind of storm. I just wanted people to understand who we was dealing with. And he talked about the frustrations of going on with his bro. I appreciate you giving me that perspective. But I took those two things and I said, this is why you cannot have these weak, soft, marshmallow moments with these individuals. Because every time they've shown me who they were on a personal level and on a historical level, they've shown our people who they are. And so that's why
line steppers.
Yeah, exactly.
Line steppers.
And it's like I can say that from those two personal things, never mind what our people have been through perpetually since encountering these people. And so it's like when you hear people like try to downplay it as if this is not an issue, it boils your blood. Because you're like, where you, who sent you? Because like, what you watching?
Nigga, where you been for the past couple of years?
Yeah, like, come on, man. But let me oh, go ahead, bro. My bad.
Well, here's the thing. The problem is your problem with my problem was the same problem I had. They were racist. and you were not racist. Can I go on my definition now?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. That was a perfect segue. Go ahead.
Racist is not a negative connotation. It's not. Racist is a two-part word, one part German, one part Latin. Ras, which is race, the word race comes from the German word ras, which means to run fast. But white folks, because of manifest destiny, and I'll be happy to explain what that is, has taken that to design, to designate it to be a group of people divided by genetic origin. Okay? Ist is a practitioner of a belief, culture, or heritage. So if you play the pianist all the time, what are you? You're a pianist.
You're a pianist.
If you play the violin all the time, what are you?
Violinist.
Okay. So if you practice your race all the time, what are you?
Bingo. Bingo.
So if I'm black first, I support black, I do black, I'm happy to be black, I am a racist. I am a racist. And I'm a damn proud one. The problem is,
tell you something, bro.
Watching, go ahead.
You teaching me, because I've been saying this for a long time. Black people can't be racist. Because
I'm gonna tap on that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You should be racist. You need to be racist. You can't practice racism. That is another Latin word.
Okay.
That is another Latin word. Ism means system.
Gotcha.
You do not have the political power to have a system in place to hold somebody down.
There we go. See, I always say racism equals prejudice plus power. So black people, but you just gave me the clarity. We can't practice racism. We should be racist. That's my man. My man.
So you can't practice racism. You definitely should be racist. I'm also prejudiced, but let me touch on that. I'm prejudiced. I'm prejudiced as hell. I don't like them. I'll tell you, I don't like troglodytes, Neanderthals, cavemen, white boys, sand demons. I don't like them. Right. But here's why. After 400 years and after everything we've gone through as a black nation, after everything I've gone through personally as a black man, after seeing all the deaths of my friends and all these doggone devils killing off my black people, how the hell do you expect me to love you?
Yeah, what did our great ancestor, and I always mess up his name, Steve Biko say? How can I hate the whip and hate the lashes given by the whip, and I'm paraphrasing, but not hate the hand and the individual that's swinging the whip and providing the lashes? Like, right. what are we talking about? Like, right. I don't like, come on.
They're not Christians. You ready to go to school again?
Teach.
The Bible says a man cannot serve two masters. You either love one or hate the other one, or clean the one and despise the other. So when you pick a side, you got to hate the other side. And I hate the other side all the way to their God.
There it is.
All the way to them. I tell people all the time, so they'll say, so Amun, what if Jesus is real, you found out on Judgment Day, and you get sent to hell? I said two things. So what? I said, one, I'm gonna make biblical history. I said, what? I'm gonna be the first one to cuss them out. Because you know, black folks, when they get fired, they're gonna tell you how they feel. So, and I said, while I'm on the way to hell, Satan gonna run up out of there, and he gonna have a meeting with Jesus. So what you mean? Because first thing Satan is gonna say is, I can't have this nigga down here. Don't do that. I'm sorry for whatever I did, but please don't bring Amun down here. He gonna turn down the temperature to 75 degrees. He gonna have all my demons are his soldiers now, and took over my throne, cleaned up. He ain't scared of me. I can't tell him nothing. I can't have this nigga down. And Jesus will be like, well, I can't have him up there. But you might as well send him on to another life. We can have this nigga. Right. They just have to agree to disagree on that one. But at the end state, I say that, yeah, it's funny to us. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't funny. And Christians are probably going, oh, let me tell you something. I ain't scared to die in this realm. I ain't scared to die in the next round.
Facts.
Reason being is because energy is needed to create it or destroy the merely exist to move one party or the next. So I realize that what I have right now is a shell. If it dies early, it's because my energy is dispersing to another point of destination. So therefore, I never die. Even if I go to hell, I'm still alive.
There you go. And I tell people like this, like my grandmother who left this physical world in 2017, but she ain't gone because I'm here. My kids here. You see what I'm saying? So we gonna be in one way or another.
Right.
Either way it go. But let me get to this last question because I know you got something else you got to take care of. And I think I just heard my queen walk in. So and this is just my opinion, bro. I don't know if you heard this before, and you know I haven't told you this until today. So but just seeing both of y'all from a distance, and I never got the honor of meeting the great ancestor, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. But when I watch your videos and I hear you speak, you remind me a lot of the king. And I know you work closely with his right-hand man, Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz. I should say Dr. Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz. Salute to that king. Have you ever heard that comparison before?
My teacher, matter of fact, Dr. Khalid Muhammad was one of his teachers too. Baba Ajay Taimba.
Okay.
Baba Ajay talked to Dr. Khalid a lot when he was in Syracuse via phone. And he told me, he said, Amun, do you know if you shaved your hair off, which I would never do. He said, if you shaved your hair off and shaved your beard off, you would look like Khalid Abdul Muhammad. And I looked at him and I said, no. And he showed me a picture and I just bust out laughing. He said, yeah, man. He said, you got the same fire and everything. And I said, brother, there was only one Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Right. No doubt.
And I told him, I said, you know what? I appreciate what you're saying. And man, I'm going to get that honor with everything I got. But one thing I will say is Dr. Khalid left his mark. But there's only one Amun Tekala Imhotep.
There it is.
And when I leave this bad boy, you better believe I'm leaving a mark. But it's a mark. I want to touch people. And that's what I love of. That's why I honor and remember about the history of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. It wasn't about him. That's a problem with most of the organizations and this movement these days. It drives me crazy. Is it about the movement? Is it about you? What movement? I ain't just talking about my organization. Movement, the definition of movement is that thing that causes motion. I'm worried about my people. I'm worried about these babies. I'm worried about these elders. And I'm worried about my brothers and sisters. At the end state, I'm not worried. I could take this off, put a t-shirt and some work pants on, and be the same African I am as if I was never in the movement in the first place, reaching and touching these babies and trying to empower them to do better. I don't need a uniform to do that. I have this uniform on now because I'm in official capacity. And I'm sitting in front of this flag. When I do that, I am in full uniform to give my flag respect because I salute my flag. My flag is the only thing in the Anubis that's senior to me because it represents my nation. The thing is, we're at a crossroads. So, I mean, I appreciate what you're saying. And I've heard it more than once. And I laughed every time I heard it. But at the end state, if that be the case, I hope I'm doing him proud.
Absolutely.
I hope I do him proud. I hope I do Baba Baruti proud, who's my father in this realm now. Baba Ajay, who's my father in this realm now. Professor James Smalls, who's my father in this realm now. Baba Ashwa Kwesi, who's my father in this realm now. And Yah, who's my mother in this realm now. Mama Brenda, who's my mother in this realm now. Gloria Jenkins, who's always my birth mother, who I will always love with my whole entire being. This great nation that we love and that I love and cherish and adore. I don't want to leave here until I know I've done my nation proud. And I'm talking about touch those brothers and sisters who want to be touched. Everybody else, Christians, don't take this offensive. You can go to hell and stay there. If you want to stay on the plantation, I'm not here to save you. I'm not here to save you. That's not my job. If you want to be stuck with white folks, or you want to be stuck halfway riding the fence between black folks and only mad when it's protest time, I ain't the black man you want to talk to. As calm as I am right now, I tell people like this. I'm like Bruce Banner in the Avengers when Captain America said, "How do you turn into the Hulk so fast?" And he said, "I'm always."
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You're a black man and a black woman in America. You should always be pissed off.
Hey,
But not
what
just
James,
pissed off at them. You need to be pissed off at you too, because you let them whoop your ass.
what James Baldwin say, to be a Negro in America and be relatively conscious is to be in an almost constant state of anger.
All the time.
Like,
I'm a black man in America. That is the most exhausting position ever. Sisters, I'm not discounting you, but I'm speaking as a black man. The most exhausting position that ever a human could ever have is to be a black man. Least desired, least respected, least loved, least understood, most hated. And we're expected to walk around stress-free.
And most exploited.
Yeah. And not to mention there's an all-out campaign to turn us into women.
Hey, you know what? Because I seen some of your posts on that, and I'm gonna have you back on to talk about that. I'm gonna try to get a panel with my master teacher, Baba Saber Maurice and Nefer and Queen Mother by the Temple of Het Haru. And we gonna see if we can get you on to talk about that, because that's bro. And I love your take on it. So we definitely I'm definitely gonna reach out to you when I can put that together. So, but let everybody know what Anubis has going on, what you got going on, how they can help, how they can join the team, you know, where y'all stationed, where y'all trying to be stationed, etc.
Okay. Well, what Anubis has going on, because people are probably asking what we do. Okay, we do domestic violence rescues. We feed the homeless. We do clothing drives and everything like that, pretty much like any other organization. But we also do domestic violence rescues. We also do anti-terror. We train as an anti-terror unit. So let's say if the KKK were to come in the neighborhood, they meet Anubis. Or if your plug was in the neighborhood selling dope by an elder's house, we meet up with him. Or if a man is beating his wife senseless, we meet up with them. So we're the extreme team. So what are we looking for? Brothers and sisters that want to do the same thing and fight the fight for real. Not marching, not protesting. We ain't parade puppets. Okay? So if you want to be a real soldier, join a real fight, a real military with a real cause, you can inbox me on facebook.com/Amun Tekala Imhotep. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you have in regards to that. Now, what we're trying to build, all over. And when I say all over, I mean world. All you got to do is look me up and we could talk about it. It takes a team of 5 to be considered a division. And then we build from there. So far as if you wanted to donate, we always take donations. I don't ask. I used to ask at first, and then people give a lot of donations because we have an adopted elder program, and there are times that I need those fundings to help my elders because we go out and we do free work. I do, under my business name, ATI Enterprises. I'll go out there and I do free work for elders and build their houses. Do work on their homes. But sometimes I need building materials, so I ask for donations. But so if you want to, you could donate to Anubis at via Cash App at $Tekala. It's $ capital TEKALA. You will see ATI Enterprises. that, and we humbly thank you. If not, hey, you just tune in, and I do videos every other day. And I'm about to be on my podcast again, Vibration Station Radio, and I hope my brother comes on because we have a whole lot of good bills on there. But I thank you for your time. And family, I just want you to be righteous. I don't care who you praying to. Who you praying to is not my business. That's between you and who you praying to. But be righteous when you walk that walk, please. It's time to stop playing and stop being a Sambo and being Uncle Tom. Now, to give the story of Uncle Tom, if you read the book Uncle Tom's Cabin, he would tell you that Uncle Tom was the one taking care of the brothers and the sisters out there, making sure Master wasn't up there doing some nonsense. And Sambo was the one that was jealous of Uncle Tom and got Uncle Tom killed.
Real talk. And for those who don't know, I think I told this story before. The real Uncle Tom and the sister, some of y'all favorite actress, is one of his descendants, Taraji P. Henson. His name was, if I'm not mistaken, Samuel Henson. And he fled his enslaver with his family, carrying his children on his back, made it to Canada, and started a free town for our ancestors to go to and become productive human beings. That's the man that the story of Uncle Tom is based on, did that in reality. So understand, Uncle Tom ain't what people the connotation they try to give it, that it ain't that. This was an individual who not only earned his freedom, but made it so other people who got their freedom could come and build a life for themselves. So always remember that. Uncle Tom ain't what we think it is. Sambo is the one who we need to be vilified.
Yep. I tell people I am Uncle Tom. I am the ultimate Uncle Tom, unapologetically. I love everything about being Uncle Tom.
Brother, I definitely respect you. Definitely respect what you're doing, appreciate you. And I'm gonna try to support you as far as the platform any way I can. And, anything I can do to help, let me know. Like I say, I'll be reaching out to you again pretty soon to see if we can get you on a few more panels. And when you start the podcast, anytime you need me to come on or want me to come on, I'll be there. So,
hey, don't threaten me with a good time, brother. You know I'll do it.
No doubt, no doubt. So with that being said, family, this has been another episode of Paradigm Shift TV 314. This your brother, Piankhi, Ptah, Montu, Nefer, Amun, Y'all heard what the brother said. Get with him. This brother is protecting our communities. I've seen it firsthand, whether it's floods, whether it's finding missing sisters, protecting elders, protecting neighborhoods from drug dealers, protecting women from abusers. This brother is a frontline warrior for real. This ain't talk, this ain't cap. He out there doing it for us. So support this king. So until next time, family, we out of here. Hotel.